All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the intro course number 2 from the Business School for Change Agents. This call and this training is called the 12 Critical Skill Areas You Need to Develop Competency in order to stand out from the crowd, and why not developing them will kill your business. So, really, this training came from, uh, you know, intro call number 1, we talked a lot about how the industry is pretty loud right now. The change industry is really loud. There's a lot of people out there, which is a good thing. It's a good thing because what we start to recognize is that a lot of us are being asked to. We're all being asked to step up, and as we're being asked to step up, the people who are out there in the world who are waking up to their own greatness and also waking up to the resistance that's in them really is an opportunity for change agents all around the world to step in and make the difference we came here to make and become the game changer we came here to be. And so if there's ever a more exciting time to be an agent of change right now and to be somebody who impacts the quality of people's lives, it's right now. And so this training is really going to be focusing on what are the 12 critical skill areas that we need to develop competency in, because there's a lot of information out there that says do this or try this or try this. And basically, what this program and what this training is going to help you do is get clear on where you can spend your time and your energy so that you're developing skills and building the critical skills that are required to grow your business as a change agent in today's day and age. With technology booming the way it is, expanding the way it is, we really do have to take a clean look at what's in front of us right now as a result of growing our business, and where do we need to focus our time and attention. So what I want to invite you to do is just take a moment and get present with this moment that we're in right now. So just allow yourself to turn off any other things that you might be multitasking with. If you're working on something else, I invite you to just be here and be present with the training and receive all the information that's in it. And so it's going to be fairly engaging too. I'm going to ask you questions, and by the end of this training, I hope that you'll see that there's specific skills that if we focus on consistently can help us expand our business. So off we go. So just get present with where you are, and I just want to see if I can do a quick hello, just so you know I'm real. Let's see. I think my webcam is working. Hi, everybody. I think you can see me. It's up close and personal. So I'm here with my little snowball mic right here. Boing, 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 boing. And yeah, isn't technology cool? That I could be here in front of my computer. You don't even know if I'm wearing, underwear or if I'm naked down there. I could be just wearing a shirt at this point. And so that's the cool thing about delivering virtual presentations is, you don't have to wear pants. And in a hot environment like Portland is right now, that's definitely a benefit. So thank you for being here on the training, inside the training. I'm super pumped to share this information with you, and I'm just really excited for the change industry in the shifts that it's making. So very pumped and looking forward to playing with you here. So let's get busy. Let's get busy. So it's going to be about 70 to 90 minutes or so. Plan on being here till about for that long, 90 minutes. There's going to be some Q&A and along the way that we'll make sure and answer any questions you have. Here's the primary agenda for today. We're going to take a look at the 12 critical skill areas and assess where your level of competency is in each area. And what it will help you do is give you a tremendous amount of awareness just in terms of where you need to spend your time and your energy. And then page 1 and 2, it's more of a report on skill building and the overall assessment, which we're going to cover. Page 3 and 4, it's a breakdown of those top 12 skills that you need as a change agent to grow your business revenue. And then page 5 and 6, there's an actual chart. So you'll be able to chart your level of competency in each of these 12 skill areas so that you can see, oh crap, I need to focus on this area, or I need to focus on this area. But before we even get there, the cool thing is I've really worked my tail off and working with the people to help me distill everything that I've been looking at into these top 12 areas. So it's pretty cool, and I think you'll gain a lot of awareness from it too. So when we complete the assessment, I'll share with you one of the fastest and most effective ways to build that specific skill area. We're going to look at the 3 key metrics for measuring growth and expansion in your business. You're also going to learn the number 1 strategic model for getting booked solid in your one-on-one business. So if you are a coach or a change agent and you want to grow your one-on-one business and you want to grow your one-on-one practice, I'll show you the number one strategic model and some of the details of that model. And then I'm going to give you another free resource. It's the participant action template. So I'll even show you. So I'll show you here right now. So if you can see this, I'm going to share with you. So yesterday, I did a presentation for an organization called Contech, if you can see that, on my optimum performance and productivity model. And basically, it was just a three and a half hour training, and they paid me $2,500 to come in and just basically teach this model, which is pretty kick-ass to get a paid speaking engagement. And at the end of so there were about right around 30 participants, and at the end of the sheet, so I gave them, the content, the information that we wanted to cover, had them write notes and their action items you can see. So pretty basic stuff, but the trick and the key with this template that you'll have access to on this call, and I'll show you how to get it, is this backspace where you invite the participants to check a box if they would like to be added to your email list, and also check that other box if they would like a free exploratory session with you. And so I'm going to show you how I utilize this and how I got a bunch of, at least a dozen different sheets handed in to me, and how I'm going to turn those into one-on-one exploratory sessions and then move them into my one-on-one coaching business. So I'll show you how that model works, and it's super helpful, especially if you are looking to grow your one-on-one practice. So just a little heads up, that's coming. And then I'm also, for some bonus material, I'm also going to show you or tell you what the Change Agent Summit is. The Change Agent Summit I'm really looking forward to, and it's really for a certain set of people, but it's pretty kick-ass. And then I'm going to give you the participant action template, and that's for all your live talks that you do, whether it's paid or free, so that you can move people into your one-on-one practice and get fully booked. So why is this webinar important to us as change agents? Well, the title of it is the 12 critical skill areas we need to develop competency in order to crush it in our business and in order to stand out from the crowd. The first reason why it's important, because we got to learn the 12 critical skill areas that are essential to growth and expansion of your business. Also, we got to be able to measure the expansion of your business. So how do we measure that? Also, our success in our business is directly connected to our ability to increase competency in these critical skill areas. And then finally, we must go to work to develop these skills over the course of time. So for example, Stephen is on this call right now, and he does a lot of video stuff. He works with people to develop video and really brilliant at it. And that's one of the critical skill areas is video creation, your video creation skills, video marketing. And we'll talk about this more, but video marketing is absolutely exploding right now. And when you look at the surge of the growth of the video marketing industry, if we're not, as change agents, getting our message out in front of our target audience consistently, we're missing out on a big part of the pie. So that's just one example. So we got to build those skills, and I'll show you what the 12 skills are, and hopefully they create a lot of clarity for you here. And then, the question that I'm always asking myself, and I ask my clients and my customers to always ask themselves is, you got to get honest with yourself and ask, is what I'm currently doing creating the results I desire? If they are, keep doing them. If what you're doing is working, keep doing them. And then teach it too. But if you are looking at the results that you desire and they're not necessarily the results that you would like to have, then you just got to get really honest with yourself, come back and say, what can I do differently in my approach to create a different result? So, for example, if you do want to book your one-on-one business solid, and you only have maybe a few clients a month, you got to take a look at, okay, what am I doing? What's the recipe to create the end result that I'm currently creating, and what can I do differently? So we've always got to ask ourselves that question, because sometimes our need to be right or our need to know it all kind of gets in the way. And once we just say, okay, I'm not creating the results I desire, what do I need to do differently? Then, we could start to go to work in creating a new recipe and creating new results. And so the problem that this training aims to solve is, where do I focus my attention and energy to effectively develop my business? Because as you've noticed, there is a lot of programs out there, a lot of really valuable, great programs. I'm always consistently investing in programs to help build my own personal skills and to grow specific areas of my business. And this training really kind of peels the layers back and says, okay, instead of focusing on certain strategies or certain concepts, we've got to peel the onion back and say, what skills do I need to build? and what's that process like? So we're going to go over all of that. So just a quick background. I know most of you know me, so I won't spend too much time on telling my story. But growing up, I was from Pueblo, Colorado, and I had a huge dream to play pro football. That was me when I was 3 years old. And over the course of the years, I worked my ass off and got a full ride scholarship to the University of Northern Colorado. And my dream of playing pro football was really close. I remember my senior year, I was 95 yards short of breaking our school record for yards in a career. And in my mind, I was close to stepping into playing professional football, maybe walking onto the practice squad of a pro team, or maybe even getting drafted. Who knows? But I had a couple of televised games where I scored winning touchdowns. I had huge games, so there was a lot of eyes on me. But my senior year, 10th game of my senior year, I broke my leg, I shattered my ankle, and I shattered my dreams of playing pro football. That was the end for me. And as they carted me off the field with my broken leg, I remember hearing a bunch of cheers. And I thought, I thought we had scored a touchdown. So I looked out onto the field. Everybody was looking at me, and then I looked at the crowd, and everybody was giving me a standing ovation, because they watched this, Rudiger, this, underdog, kind of come through and work his little ass off and achieve high levels of results. And now, it was over. So it was a bittersweet moment for me. Then I moved to Denver, Colorado. And I jumped into the corporate world, and I was super hungry for success. So I became a manager with a company within 6 months. And, I was able to start to develop people and coach people and train people. And I really fell in love with that. But what I couldn't stand was having a boss. I hated my bosses. They were very autocratic, very militant in their leadership style. And if you're a rebel, if you're kind of one of those nonconformists, you know what I'm talking about. It just didn't resonate with me. And so after about 2.5 years of being with that company, I fell into a deep state of depression and started asking some really big questions in my life, like, why am I here? What's my purpose on the planet? And then I found the world of personal development through the book of Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins. And so that book was really the catalyst that opened it all up for me. And then from there, I went on this crazy media fast. I stopped listening to music. I stopped watching TV. And I just started flooding my mind with personal development information. And as a result of that, I got super inspired, and I created a new vision for my life to become a motivational speaker. And I had no idea, what it was going to take for me to go from a corporate manager to a motivational speaker. But within 3.5 years, of just constant hard work and holding the vision in my mind and moving toward it and taking action toward it, investing in myself, I started a speaking, training, and coaching business over 6 years ago. And now a part of what I do is I travel around the country and I speak to large audiences and small audiences on some of the content that I've developed over the course of the last 6 years, and just really have heavily invested in myself to gain the skills, gain the knowledge, gain the strategies and awareness to be able to step into these environments and really serve these audiences. And so it's a real gift to look back and see, all the challenges that I had along the way, and what has come as a result of it. And the thing is, guys, you can do this too. Like, if you have a desire, a hunger to be in front of audiences live or virtually and share your content and organize your genius and your brilliance and your message in a way that adds value to people's lives, and then be paid handsomely for it, and be compensated handsomely for it, you can do it. Like, right now, people are asking for it. And really, it's a great opportunity for us as change agents to learn whatever's required to do that. Because if you are a change agent, if you are somebody who is here to make a big difference, there's sort of a calling inside of all of us that's happening. And we can't press snooze on that alarm clock anymore. We can't ignore the alarm clock anymore. We've got to step into bigger levels of us and more of our greatness, and really step out and serve larger audiences. And so that's why Business School for Change Agents is coming out, I believe, is to help people who know they have gifts, who know they have a message, who know they have these capacities, and they're not sure how to organize all of that into valuable content, into a business, and able to generate the kind of income that is possible for yourself. And so I'm super pumped to share all of this. And initially, how it all started for me was I started just doing free talks. I went to a half-day seminar called Speak for Fun and Profit, and I learned that the Kiwanis clubs and the Lions clubs, the Rotary clubs, Toastmasters, they were all looking for fresh new messaging. They were all looking for fresh new speakers, because they have guest speakers come in and do a 30-minute talk. So I developed two what I call signature presentations that you're going to learn in the Business School for Change Agents. And one signature presentation was called Instant Rapport, 7 steps to I think it was 7 steps to creating instant connections with anyone. And I started delivering that talk all over town. And then after a while, I started to realize that when I was delivering those talks, that it was just a high and buy kind of thing. I'd go in and I'd deliver and then I would leave, but I wouldn't create any kind of sort of portal to connect with them. I wouldn't create any kind of way that I could stay engaged with them and continue to add value other than that 30 minutes. So that's when I developed the participant action template that I'm going to share with you later in this webinar. And then at the beginning of each talk, I would pass out the little pamphlet or the little sheet, and I would have them take notes along the way. And at the end of it, I said at the bottom, or the last sheet, whatever it was that I organized, at the bottom of your sheet, if you desire to refer me, if there's another group that you know of that I could serve, check this box. If you would like to stay on my email list and receive this free gift, check this box. If you would like a free exploratory session with me to explore working one-on-one together, check this box. And so people would fill it out, and at the end of a morning, I would have 30 of these sheets. The next day, I would follow up with all of them, and all of a sudden, I had 15 new exploratory sessions where I was exploring working with people and moving them into my business. And then I would always get 1 or 2 clients, maybe even more as a result of it. And so that's how it all started for me. And then also in those 3 check boxes is, people would refer me to other organizations, or somebody there would be, a president of a company. And I remember my first paid speaking engagement was the Colorado Association of Realtors. You can see on my screen right there. Colorado Association of Realtors paid me $500 to come in and talk for, I think it was 45 minutes about instant rapport, that same topic that I was delivering. You just never know, guys. Like, stop what you're doing and listen to this. Like, you never know who's in your audiences. You will never know. It could be a group of Rotary Club people, and most of them are 80 years old. But there could be a group of people in there who can hire you. Like, that's why you want to show up and serve. I call it show up and blow up. No matter who it is, you got to show up and serve. I remember there was this one time I was so frustrated. There was this one time I had this address to a group for, I think it was a Lions Club I got booked for. And I show up and the address leads me to this house. And it's this small house kind of in a weird part of town. And so I go up to the house and the garage door starts to open. And as the garage door starts to open, I see like this kind of like almost like a picnic table. And there were 6 chairs around it. And there was a little one of those music easels, those music platforms where you put music sheets on. There was one of those in front of that. And that's where I was speaking to them. So if you can imagine, I'm in a suit, right? And I have a tie on, I'm ready to really deliver. And all of a sudden, knock on this door, the garage door like starts to come open. You can hear it creaking open. And all of a sudden there's one guy standing to greet me. And then there's 6 older gentlemen who are just sitting there, and they had like some takeout food that they brought me. So, I stood there and I talked about the absolute success system, which was one of my other signature presentations at the time, 7 steps to achieving success in any area of your life, or something like that. And I remember sitting there for a half hour just serving to the best of my ability this audience, of 6 people, of 6 older gentlemen. Nothing ever came from that one other than they joined my email list. But those are the things that I was willing to go through to get to the other audiences, and that's the thing. We've got to show up and serve no matter how large the audience or how small the audience. There have been audiences of 2 that I showed up, and I just showed up and I served the best that I could. So we got to get in that habit of really just stepping up and delivering no matter how many people are in the audience. And now, I recently spoke in front of, I think, 175 people at the Oregon Pupil Transit Association or something like that. But it was phenomenal. And a couple paid speaking engagements came from that. I got a ton of people I'm still following up with because of this participant action template. And so it's just really, this model is amazing. And I'm going to share with you in a little bit the number 1 strategic model to book your one-on-one business solid. So that's how it all started, guys, for just doing these free in-person paid speaking engagements. And they all one thing led to another, led to another, led to another, led to another, and now my full day training fee is $10,000. Somebody who wants to bring me in for just 45 minutes or an hour and a half, it's $2,500 to do that. And so that's it. But it started free. It started by just adding value. I think it was Jim Rohn that said, you can't serve the masses until you can serve the few. And I really took that to heart when I learned it a long time ago. And I was just willing to do whatever it took and go through those speaking engagements where I only had, 5 people or 2 people in there, because I knew there were just more people who I could reach. And so now it's pretty cool. And then, I'm connected with an organization a few years ago called National Seminars Training. And National Seminars Training is like a speaking agency, if you will. Basically, what they do is they connect and they contract out with trainers like me, maybe like you, if you consider yourself a trainer. And if they decide to contract with you, there's an interview process. And I'm going to teach the people inside of Business School for Change Agents how to do this, what you need, the marketing materials that you need. But if they decide to contract you, they market for you, they fill the rooms, they fly you out to the cities, they book you in hotels, they pay for all of that. They give you they pay you to train, they give you a per diem per day for food and things like that, and they give you a rental car, they pay for all of it. And so I've been doing that with them for the last little over 3 years now, and so many of those speaking engagements have just led to so many others. So it's a huge ripple effect when you choose to step in and really serve to the best of your capacity. So really, that's kind of my journey, guys. And then I started adding, virtual presentations. So right now, I'm sitting here in my shirt, and yes, I have shorts on, but I'm sitting here in front of a computer talking into a mic, and I never had to leave my house. So the overhead for delivering this presentation is nothing, and I still get to reach a ton of people. And then it gets recorded, so I get to share it and share this information with other people. So imagine, guys, what it would be like to develop your own signature presentation that you deliver live and virtually to explode your business. I mean, this was the model that I stepped into pretty early on in my business that really allowed me to make a big impact early on and continue to grow my business, to grow my email list, and to continue to develop great content. So the biggest reason why that is because it's leverage, right? It's, in this 90 minutes, I'll be able to connect with probably hundreds of people after it's all said and done, with people watching replays. So think of that, how you can leverage more of your knowledge like this in your business. And so really, this is what it looked like. Initial step one, in terms of blowing up my one-on-one business, step one was to develop my one-on-one business model, all the processes and the systems. Step two is to create your signature presentation and all of your marketing material. Step three is to deliver that signature presentation virtually and live. And then step four is to fill your one-on-one business from those presentations and get booked solid. So those are the 4 steps really that I went through, chunked in large pieces, but that's what happened. And so stay tuned, because at the end of this, I'm going to show you where you can fill out it's a skill gap awareness assessment, and it will allow you to take a look at the top 12 skill areas that you need to develop competency in. And then also I'm going to give you that free resource, which is the participant action template. So I'm curious, for those of you here on the call, in the questions area in the control panel, I'd love to know, what is it that you would like to, would you like to grow your business through virtual and live speaking engagements? So just give me a yes if that's something that you would like to do, to grow your business through live and virtual speaking engagements. Awesome. Otto says yes. Kim says yes. Keisha says yes. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's really, technology allows us to do that from a virtual standpoint. And, Stephen Morris says yes. Catherine, sorry if I butcher your last name. I think it's Bearer, says, hell yeah. Julie Haas says yes. And so the cool thing, guys, is that technology allows us to leverage our knowledge, but we've got to, if I come back here to this slide, we got to come back and develop our one-on-one business model first, and then develop our signature presentation, and then get booked and set up these live and virtual presentations, and then move people into our one-on-one business. So there are some steps to it. And a lot of times, people just don't have these processes in place and these systems in place. But once you have it in place, guys, it makes it a hell of a lot easier, and I'm going to show you how. So stay tuned, and you'll get the skill gap awareness assessment. We're going to go over it in detail on this call. You're actually going to take it. It's a pretty quick assessment, but man, super revealing. So now let's jump into the 12 critical skill areas that you need to develop competency in order to stand out from the crowd and also to crush it in your business. So the first thing is your change skills. Your change skills. So basically, guys, this is your ability to help take your clients from where they are to where they want to be. That's basically it. How do we take our clients from where they are to where they want to be? And the key to this is looking at all the training that you've taken, all the change training, all the transformational training, all the seminars, all the workshops that you've taken, and begin to take all of that and organize a process of what I call your process of transformation. How do you create your process of transformation in a way that gives people the awareness that your process is for them? A great example of this, and I think I mentioned this on the last call, but when Dane here he's one of the co-creators of Access Consciousness, but he has a process called energetic synthesis of being. It's a unique transformation process that he's developed over the course of all the work that he's done over time. And as a result of him loving and believing in that process, people just flock to him. And so what's your process of transformation that you can develop, that you know how to communicate the value to your potential clients of, that will get you excited to grow your one-on-one business? If you don't have, here's the thing, if you don't have a process of transformation for your clients, and you have what I call an exploratory session where you're exploring working with each other, then how are you going to communicate the value of it to invite that potential client to become a paying client? Because remember this, guys, people buy because of emotional reasons, and they justify it with logic. Having the process of your process of transformation in place and be able to communicate the steps of it and the value of it and how you do it is going to be essential to you being in love with that process and people signing up for it. Because if you're not confident in your change skills, and if you're not confident in your ability to help people take them from point A to point B, or where they are to where they want to be, then you're going to repel clients. You're going and this is really common in the change industry. We all have phenomenal gifts and abilities, but if we don't have a confidence in our process, then we're not going to seek out the knowledge that will help us build our one-on-one business. So your change skills. So for me personally, the body of work that I first was introduced to probably about a decade ago was NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnotherapy. Those were the two modalities that I still use to a high degree. I mean, it's been a huge part of my own personal transformation, and I've gotten certified in NLP on multiple levels and hypnotherapy. And I've just, over the course of time, have developed an ability or a skill that I'm personally confident in, that I can help people get to where they want to be and achieve their goals. And the more my confidence increases, the more I naturally attract one-on-one clients, because I know in my gut, I get in my bones that I can help people overcome limitations and reach their goals and their targets. And as a result of that confidence, there's no resistance in that area of my business. So I tend to attract them pretty easily. And they just show up out of my programs or out of speaking engagements, and they just find me on the internet. And that kind of confidence of being really sort of in love with your change skills and your process will help you tremendously. So that's skill number one. Skill number two is targeted messaging. And these are in no particular order, guys, but targeted messaging. So how do we, because there's so many people out there, it's 7.5 billion people on the planet, lots of people on the internet. And if our message isn't targeted to a specific demographic of people, or a specific label, quote unquote label, so to speak, then we're going to miss out on really communicating with our target audience. So our messaging skills are essential, guys, to the process of growing our business, and being able to pierce through all the noise that's out there, and getting clear on who your target audience is, and then being able to message to them consistently. There's a good chance that you're on this webinar or watching the replay as a result of me constantly, sharing the invitation for the webinar and sharing the specifics of the messaging that I've developed for you. And so in Business School for Change Agents, you're not only going to learn your target messaging, but you're going to know who your target audience is. And you're also going to learn what I call their desperations and their aspirations. Their desperations are what keeps them up at night. For example, if you're like a health coach, as just a random example, if you're a health coach and your target is to help people lose weight and gain more energy and vitality, then you got to know, like, if that's your target audience, you got to know their desperations, what their pain is, what keeps them up at night, what their primary issues and problems are, and then you got to also know what their aspirations are. You got to know what they're moving toward, what they aspire to achieve and be in their own lives, what their goals are, what their wishes are, what their dreams are. You got to get connected to all of that. And then you develop targeted messaging around all of that information. But the first key in all of that is you got to get clear on who the target audience is and then develop targeted messaging. And it's not just developing targeted messaging and then sitting back. You got to be constantly creating content, which we'll get to here in a moment. But you got to be constantly creating content that speaks to them so that you stay front of mind. Because again, in the noise, all of the noise that's happening right now, if you're not staying front of mind to your potential clients, they're going to find somebody else in your specific industry and they're going to hire them. One of my mentors along the way, Lisa Sasevich, said that, if you're not consistently messaging your target audience and inviting them to work with you, you're doing all the heavy lifting, and your quote unquote competition is going to make the invitation, and they're going to work with them. So not only do you have to develop the target messaging and know your target audience, but you got to consistently create the content that speaks to them so that you stay top of mind in their world. And when it's time for them to work with you, boom, there they are. I get people tell me all the time when they join one of my programs or they sign up for coaching, they say, I've been kind of tracking you for the last few years now, and it finally was just on my radar to sign up for this program. So the critical skill number 3 is what I talked about earlier, is your process of transformation. How do you take your potential clients in your target audience from point A to point B? As a health coach, how do you help them lose, 10% body fat or whatever your target is? How do you take them through that process? What are the steps in it? This is the logical sequence that's important for your potential clients to be aware of so that they know what the journey looks like. There's 2 pieces of why people will work with you. The first piece is because there's an energy, there's a confidence, there's a beingness that you're being in the world that doesn't have any resistance or has very little resistance. So there's that energy or emotional piece, and then there's the logical piece of being able to communicate, hey, this is the process I'm going to take you through. I mean, here's a great example of that is this is the 4-step process you're going to go through in Business School for Change Agents that's going to help you get book solid. So this is the process of transformation. I mean, this is exactly what this is. And so as it relates to you, you've got to, for your one-on-one business or for any program that you're creating, you've got to develop your process of transformation. What are the steps that people are going to go through to achieve the results that they desire? And sure, along the way, you might take a left turn because that's what's being asked in the moment. But if you set up that process of transformation up front and let them know, listen, these are the flexible steps that we're going to take to get you to where you want to be, then they sort of feel a sense of relief knowing that there's a process set up and that it's not going to be random. This also allows you to stand out from the crowd because it's not just about like, okay, I'll sign up for 10 sessions with you and off we go. If there's so many change agents out there offering one-on-one coaching or one-on-one change work. And the thing is like, if we've developed a process, a unique process that relates to us and our work up front, it becomes a lot easier for the conversion process because we don't leave them guessing on how it's going to happen. Always remember this, guys. Stop what you're doing and listen to this. Write it down. Get a tattoo of it. A confused mind says no. Just let that sink in for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A confused mind says no, guys. And if we leave any confusion in the minds of our potential clients, there's a really strong chance they're going to say no. And this is why when I develop programs lately, is like it's very crystal clear on what people are getting so that I could weed out people who it's not a match for, and the people who it is a match for, boom, they come right in. Critical skill number 4 is your social media presence and engagement. It's no secret, guys. We do live in the age of social media. And if we're not engaging in social media with our communication, with our messaging, with our branding, with our products, programs, services, content, blogs, videos, all of that, if we're not engaging in social media, we might as well be just a hermit in a room, not talking to anybody. I mean, if you're the thing is like everybody's on social media, including your potential clients, but your job in your business is to develop the messaging, right? To develop the content that helps them see that, oh, hey, this person's doing something kind of unique. I really like this person. I really like what they're up to. I'm going to explore more on potentially even working with them. So what they'll do is they'll sign up for a free call that you do, a free virtual presentation that you do, and then they'll check you out and they'll see, okay, what they're asking is, can this person add value to my life? Why should I spend my time and my energy and my money on this person? Do I get the sense in my gut that they can help me get to where I want to go? Can they help me solve these specific issues in my world that I can't seem to shake? They're asking all of these questions. And how you answer those questions is that you develop a business that allows you to communicate your value and your messaging and your brilliance to the right people in a way that has them saying yes to working with you. So right now, I would say that from a coaching standpoint, from a change agent standpoint, the top 2 social media platforms are probably obviously Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, all of them can work really well for you. They can all work to your advantage. But if you're going to choose to spend time on a specific social media platform, Facebook is probably your best bet. So just know that if you're not engaging in social media and you don't have a presence in social media, there's a good chance that your business is going to fall short. Critical skill number 5 is your products, programs, and the creation of that all. So product and program creation skills. This is simply, guys, your ability to organize your content, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your brilliance in a way that solves a problem within your target audience. So all of you are probably on this call because and interested in business school for change agents because you probably want to grow your business. You want to grow your impact. You want to change more lives. You want to get in front of more people in some way, shape, or form. And what I'm aiming to do in business school for change agents is help you solve that problem. And so just know that your products, programs, and the way that you create those, all you're looking for is, how do I develop something and organize my content in a way that helps my target audience solve their problems? That's what you're looking to create. And it's a skill that you have to build. And I remember the first online program I launched, I think I shared this in the first call, but I had 5 people sign up, and I spent hours upon hours upon hours developing the content and the workbooks, all of it. And I had 5 people sign up. I felt like a big fat failure. But what really happened was I was simply in the second level of learning, which is, and we'll cover this in a moment, but it was consciously unskilled. It's when I was aware that, oh crap, this was my first attempt at an online program. It kind of fell on its face. And how can I improve the process? So that's the bottom line, guys. Product and program creation skills. How do I organize my content, my genius, my brilliance, my knowledge, my wisdom in a way that solves problems for people? And then number 6, critical skill number 6 is your conversion skills. So if you look at business school for change agents and how I've developed the program for this specific 3-call series, is that I've invited as many people as I can over the course of the last few weeks to sign up for the 3-part program. And now, basically, I'm leaving it up to the conversion process, moving people from these 3 paid programs into the actual 2015 fall semester. And so these 3 programs are really designed to add a ton of value to people's worlds, to give people a lot of content, to show people that, hey, if he's giving, and this is, if you're looking and questioning whether to purchase any online program, not just Business School for Change Agents, but any program, you want to look and see how much value are they giving up front. Because the chances are, if they're giving a lot of value up front, there's going to be even a lot more value behind the scenes once you buy the program or work with them one-on-one or work with them in an intimate group of people. And so I've developed this whole process, the conversion process, so that I add as much value as I can. I simply open the doors, make an invitation, and for those people who are ready for it, will choose it. And so far, it's been extremely successful. I think there are 9 people signed up with only 15 spots left, because I'm only inviting 24 people so that we can go intimate and go deep with each other. So I just want to check in, guys. Let's see. Stephen Morris. I just want to see any comments that you have or any questions. Go ahead and pop those in the questions area down below. Stephen Morris says, I have lots of different kinds of processes from many years of my own training, but no proven process of my own. How do I get started in sharing my change skills? This is a great question. I'll just answer this right here. How do I get, I guess the first question I would ask Stephen is, what is the outcome that you're looking to help potential clients create? What's the outcome that you're looking to help potential clients create? Because once you get clear on the outcome, then you can organize the process to get them there. Early on, and this will help answer your question, Stephen, early on, I worked with a lot of people for free because I was new and I knew that I needed more practice, and I knew the practice would help me develop my skill for change, helping people change. And I shared this quote last time, but we have to remember that the thing that develops the skill faster than anything is repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. I learned that really early on from Anthony Robbins, and I just took that knowledge to heart, and I started working with a ton of people for free. And then as a result of working with people for free, I built that skill pretty quickly, and I got a lot of testimonials from it. And that's what you might want to do if you're just beginning, is work with people for free, ask them for testimonials, ask them for feedback, and then you can use that information. Stephen, you use the word proven process. Well, when you work with people, even if it's for free or a low barrier of entry, once you work with enough people, you start to get certain results, and those results will help you sell your change skills or your process in the future. And then after the course of time, guys, I just began, after working with a lot of people for free, it helped me develop a confidence. Remember this, when you develop competence in a skill, it will increase your confidence. When you develop competence in a skill, it will increase your confidence. And in order to develop competence in a skill, you have to repetition. You just simply have to practice over and over and over again. And then over the course of time, you get better. So I'm going to share here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to shift and check in to see Catherine's question. Selling the transformation, not the modality. Yeah, that's a great point, Catherine. A lot of people out there, they talk about how when you're working with potential customers and clients, like the more you talk about the outcome or the transformation they're going to go through, that they're going to experience, the outcomes that they're going to experience versus the process, the more apt they are to work with you. And this speaks to conversion skills. So hold on 1 second. I'm just going to do a quick shift here for this webinar, 4 levels of learning. Okay, I can type. Okay, there it is. So 4 levels of learning. The first level of learning, I'm just going to do this on the fly, guys. The first level of learning, guys, is called unconsciously unskilled. And this is, for example, for those of you who learn to drive with a stick shift, this will make a lot of sense for you. So you first learn to drive with a stick shift. And I remember when I first learned to drive with a stick shift, it was an old school minivan. And in that minivan, I remember I adjusted the mirrors, I adjusted the wheel, and I adjusted the seat and all of it, turned the engine on, and I tried to let off the clutch and then push in the gas. And about 5 feet later, the car stalls out. And before I even stepped in the car, I was already at the first level of learning, which is unconsciously unskilled. And then the second level of learning is called consciously unskilled. It's when you become aware that you suck at something. So after my first attempt and the car stalled, I realized that, oh crap, I suck at driving. So in order to move out of consciously unskilled into the third level of learning, which is consciously skilled, I had to keep practicing. And you remember this, driving over and over and over and over again. Well, repetition is the mother of skill. You eventually get around the block. You eventually get on the highway maybe. And eventually you can move to the fourth level of learning after a lot of repetition, unconsciously skilled. It's when you don't have to think about it anymore. Then this is the process we go through for all learning, guys. Any new skill that we learn, this is the absolute process we go through. And same thing with learning or walking and talking. But the thing is that where most people just, especially adults, where adults kill themselves, is the consciously unskilled arena. The minute most adults become aware that they suck at something, they say, oh, I suck at that, I'm not doing that anymore. But kids don't know what that is. Kids have no idea. Kids don't judge themselves. If imagine if kids had in their mindset, okay, I got to make sure I get this right when they're learning how to walk. They got to get this right, got to get this perfect. They don't. They're willing to utilize feedback as their primary mechanism for growth and learning any skill. And so just remember, repetition is the mother of skill. And if you're willing to do whatever it takes and you're willing to do the thing long enough, you're going to get good at it. The reason why I got so good at speaking so quickly, I wish I had a video of my first time I gave my 10-minute speech at Toastmasters. You guys would be laughing your ass off at me. But the reason why I got so good at it, because I did it all the time. The reason why I got good at working with people one-on-one is because I did it all the time. And, I came from a sports background where we would replay every single play over and over and over again during practice because that's how we built the skill. Stephen Moore says, begin with the end in mind. That's actually part of what I'd be teaching people. Awesome, Stephen. Rock and roll, guys. Cool. So does that 4 levels of learning help? The thing that we have to remember with this is in all of these skills that we're talking about, conversion skills, all of it is really all about moving through these 4 levels of learning. So the place that we just finished was conversion skills. The next step is Kim is saying this is so helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, so let's keep going. Critical skill number 7 is lead generation. Lead generation. So lead generation comes from content creation, from delivering valuable content into the marketplace through social media, through your email lists, through teleseminars, through webinars, through your website, through white papers, through articles, every single way that you can to move people into that second piece, which is the traffic piece. So your landing page, your websites, opt-in forms, things like that. And then boom, eventually, some of them will sign up for your free content. One of the things that I'm really excited about that we're going to do in the Business School for Change Agents is we're going to help you develop your free offer. So it's your freebie that you give away when people sign up for your email list. So most days or most time you go to somebody's website, they're going to give you like a free gift for signing up for their website. If you go to my website, georgeiracarroll.com, you're going to see that I simply just give away my weekly video series because it adds value and it's free and it's fun and easy for me to do. What we're going to do in Business School for Change Agents along the way, I think it's module number 4, we're going to help you develop your free giveaway that you could set up on your website so that when people go to your website, they give you their email address for your free gift. And that's part of how you create leads. And also it's through programs like this, like, you've signed up for my email list and now we're doing this webinar. So you've basically said, I'm interested in what George has to offer. And maybe you'll sign up for Business School for Change Agents and maybe you won't. But this is my opportunity to build my list, build my leads, add value to your world. And if you don't jump into Business School for Change Agents this semester, maybe another semester. My job is just to keep building my leads, building my funnel, building my pipeline, so to speak, building my email list and constantly adding as much value as I can. So eventually people get to that tipping point where they're like, man, there's so much to offer. He has so much information. This information is super valuable. And then at some point it's like, I don't have a choice. I have to sign up for this. I just get that there's going to be so much value behind it. So critical skill number 7, guys, lead generation. And there's lots of ways to do this. And you're going to learn how to create all of this stuff, like a landing page. That's when somebody goes to your homepage, and then you give them a free gift. We're going to develop your free gift. We're going to develop a sequence of emails that goes out after that you continue to add value to them. So we're going to learn all of that, guys. And all of this plays into critical skill number 8, which is in-person networking. In-person networking. In-person networking is when you go to classes or live events or networking events and you meet people. Most people are so awkward in these situations of meeting new people, but it's a huge skill because you can't avoid that. There's nothing that will ever replace that in-person connection. And so you got to look at your city and simply go to Google in your city, Google networking events in your city, and then go visit some. One of the fastest ways I grew my business early on to get speaking engagements and to get one-on-one clients was I went to networking groups. I just simply knew that the more people that I met and the more people knew what I did, the more my business would grow. And so I joined an organization called Certus Network. My friend Sabrina Risley owns that company, Certus Networks, in Denver, Colorado. And I just joined a bunch of networking events. And some of those networking events even booked me for a free speaking engagement. And so, guys, we just never know where one connection could lead to. And if you go to, I know a lot of people who are on this call, even if you're listening to the replay, you probably go to a lot of workshops or classes or live events or seminars or trainings. Those are networking opportunities. Sure, you're there to learn. Sure, you're there to upgrade your skills. And at the same time, those are networking opportunities, man. Those are really prime opportunities to meet potential clients, to build your reach, your social media reach, and to generate leads like crazy. So critical skill number 8 is in-person networking. So the thing that you're going to learn in Business School for Change Agents is when you're meeting somebody for the first time, how do you recognize if they're a potential client? And then, when people ask you, so what do you do? Which I loathe that question, by the way. I hate that question. What do you do? I do laundry sometimes. What do? I do a lot of stuff. And so how do you answer that question? How do you answer in a way that really connects with them if they are part of your target audience? So for example, recently I was at a mastermind group in Palm Springs and I met a few people, and the thing that I say really depends on the event that I'm at. But at this event, I said I help change agents grow their business. And so, they start to ask, well, what's a change agent? Well, coaches and therapists, practitioners, facilitators, people who work with people one-on-one or in groups. And they're like, oh, interesting. And then they start to see, I know people who could use your stuff. And then you connect with them, and then you reach out to them and you build a relationship with them, and you add value to them and they add value to you. And over the course of time, you've got this global network of people. So critical skill number 8, and I think this one gets forgotten a lot because of social media, it's in-person networking. If you go to classes, if you go to live events, those are prime opportunities to connect and build relationships with people and even meet potential clients. Critical skill number 9, and this is probably my favorite of all, one of my favorite at least, it's your content creation skills. So if I go to, I'm going to ask you these questions, and as I ask you, just kind of be aware of what's there. So if I go to your YouTube channel, first of all, do you have a YouTube channel? If the answer is no, go to youtube.com and create an account and start creating videos. If I do go to your YouTube channel, what kind of content can I expect to learn from you based on your expertise, based on your specialty? What kind of content can I expect to learn from you? Do you have videos up? Do you have videos that share the value of your work? Where you get to communicate your brilliance? No, that's okay. You have time to do it. So here's some more questions. If I go to your website, do you have a blog up? Do you have information on your blog that I could learn about you more? Think about it this way, guys. How many people are out there that you don't know are out there that are actually looking to potentially work with you? Take a minute with that question. How many people are out there in the world who are potentially looking to work with you that you have no clue they're even there? It's probably a lot more than you realize. And the thing is, when you set up your YouTube channels and your blogging platform and your social media network and all of these content creation venues, then people start to see, okay, this person is the real deal. They've got consistent content. They're always posting new videos. They're always posting new blogs. They're always posting on social media. Content is king, my friends, in a noisy environment, in a loud change industry. Content is king. And if there's one skill that I would say is probably most valuable for you to learn, it's to learn how to organize your knowledge, your content, your information, your wisdom, your experiences, your story in a way that adds value to your target audience. It's all about content creation, my friends. And number 10 is video creation skills. So I spoke with Steven a little bit earlier. He's brilliant at content creation. Let's see. I'm going to answer a question real quick. Hey, what the heck just happened? All right, so Lisa said, is there a tool available for remembering people's names? Yes, I'm brilliant at remembering people's names. I'm not the tool, but let's see. Let me see, what's the book that I learned people's names from? There, I forgot. There is a book out there called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. But I'm not sure if he offers name memory techniques there. So I'm not sure, Lisa. Good question. I'm not sure the answer to that question. I will give you a quick tool here, though, while I'm here. To remember people's names, we have to remember that the brain will remember anything. It works with associative memory. Memory works with associative memory, which means if you meet a guy named George, for example, and then you picture Curious George, that little monkey on top of my head, that image will hold in your brain, and you are more likely to remember my name the next time you see me. So yesterday I did a talk for about 30 people. I met the first 5 or 10 people, and I used the association technique. I met a guy named Scott, and I pictured my childhood friend Scott Dorrance sitting on his shoulders. That was weird. My brain remembered it. And then I remember meeting a woman named Amy. And then I pictured my other friend Amy having them do chest bumps. So you just got to play with the associative memory technique. I met a guy by the name of Travis. And I grew up with a guy named Travis Kruger. And so I pictured them high-fiving and doing all kinds of weird stuff together. So associative memory helps with name memory. And it's also a skill and a muscle that you have to build. So hopefully that helps, Lisa. Just remember associative memory. And then critical skill number 10 is video creation skills, guys. This one goes without saying. If you research, just Google video marketing statistics. The influx of the need and the demand for video content is just skyrocketed. So that's why I'm always creating videos. If you follow me on Facebook or anything like that, I always have new videos. I probably uploaded 5 or 6 new videos yesterday, but it's a skill. And again, we go through those 4 levels of learning to learn any new skill or activity. So learn how to create videos, guys. And I don't know if you want to connect with Stephen Morris, you can do that. You can contact him on Facebook. I know that he works with people through video marketing and other stuff. So, there's resources out there, and sometimes you just got to invest your money and your time and your energy in learning these things. Critical skill number. Oh, hold on one second. Critical skill number 10, video. So here's some statistics. 74% of video, and it's still growing. Cisco did a study and a report, and they believe that 74% of all internet traffic will be video in 2017. Mobile, 69% of smartphone users say videos are perfect solution for smartphone viewing because it offers quick way for consumers to grasp an overview of a product. So think about it. When you're on your smartphone, how many I'm always watching videos. Like when you're flowing through the Facebook feed or whatever, how many videos do you tap on? Also, 90% of online shoppers say that if they find a video helpful in making shopping and buying decisions. That's why at the top of every single program I create, guys, I make a video. And I've organized the video content in a way that adds a tremendous amount of value and creates an invitation for them to sign up. 75% of executives told Forbes that they watch work-related videos on business websites at least once a week. So guys, there's a huge market. and a huge opportunity with video creation. And here's the thing, as a change agent, you stand out from the crowd, because even though it seems like there are a lot of people doing videos out there, when we look at the overall numbers, a very tiny percentage of change agents are consistently doing videos, a very tiny percentage. And video is the best way to connect with somebody without being in person with them. So people get to get a feel for your energy, a feel for your style, a feel for your beingness, a feel for your authenticity through video that a blog or even an audio program or a webinar won't be able to touch. So do video, guys. Critical skill number 11 is virtual presentation skills. So right now, I'm with you, and I don't know where you are in the world. Some of you are in Australia, some of you are in Texas, some of you are in Canada, some of you are in the United States, some of you are in Austria. And, I'm sitting here and just presenting this information to you, and I've developed content. I've organized it in a way that hopefully is adding value to your world, and now I'm presenting it. And how often could you do this if you got good at developing content? So keep in mind, guys, that people do want to hear from you. They want to know from you. Your job is to organize the content in a way that adds value to their world. Virtual presentation skills is one of the fastest ways you can grow your business, and specifically your one-on-one business. So for example, I remember working with this woman a few years ago. We developed her branding and her messaging, and then I had her launch this specific strategy where we created a telecall, and it was just simply like 5 keys to happiness or something like that, something very simple like that. And then we flooded the social media waves, and a bunch of people signed up for it. I think she had like 70 people sign up for it, which was great. She had 30 or 40 people live on the actual teleseminar. And then after it, she offered a free exploratory session. And then she ended up moving, I think, like 15 of those 30 exploratory sessions into paid coaching programs. And within the next 45 days, she said she grossed $15,000 in the next 45 days. So it was a simple strategy, but it all came down to content creation skills, virtual presentation skills, learning conversion skills, and knowing her process of transformation. So that's how it all works together, guys. And then finally, critical skill number 12 is live presentation skills. This is one of my favorite ones because it's the thing that probably helped me grow my business the fastest, that and virtual presentation skills. And by doing this, by constantly being in front of people and being me and sharing my value with them, they want to stay connected with me. And this is the same thing that you can do. You can do this too, guys. Like, I'm no different from you. We all have a brain. We all have a body. We all can speak words. We're all this like the same. We're totally different, but we're the same. And the content that we have is totally unique. So how do we get that in front of live audiences? And you would be surprised. I mean, when we go through the business school for change agents, you're going to learn where to find free and fee speaking engagements. So paid and unpaid speaking engagements. Either way, you can organize your presentation to move people into your one-on-one coaching program. That's how you get booked solid. So those are the 12 critical skill areas. So now I want to ask this question. What would your life, and feel free to answer it in the questions area, but what would your business be like? Guys, what would your business be like if you developed competency in all of these 12 critical skills? So take a moment, get the energy of it. What would be different in your business if you developed either mastery or even competency in these 12 critical skill areas? What do you sense? What do you notice? I'm going to take a drink of water. Oh, that was good. What would your business be like if you knew, boom, okay, I'm going to create some content. This content is a virtual presentation called, 5 keys to killer video marketing. And then, here are the 5 keys. These are the presentations, and then I'm going to market for it. I'm going to fill it. I'm going to find who my target audience is. I'm going to develop messaging that really connects with them so that they sign up for the program. And then they sign up for the program. And then boom, I'm going to deliver, man. I'm going to step in. I'm going to step up. I'm going to show up and blow up, and I'm going to deliver. And then you deliver, and then you invite people to have an exploratory session with you, totally free. And in this exploratory session, we're going to go boom, boom, and boom. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to organize and facilitate that exploratory session so that your conversion rates go through the roof. The reason why, like, I remember 2 years ago, I joined a mastermind for $24,000 with Lisa Sastovich in order to enhance my conversion skills. So it was a really uncomfortable choice for me to make, but I made it because I knew in the long run that if I increased my conversion skills, that my income and my impact would also increase. So the cool thing with working with somebody like me and signing up for the mastermind is that you're going to be able to learn the same strategies that I learned from her, but you won't have to spend $24,000. I'm going to teach you how to facilitate that exploratory session in a way that moves potential clients into saying yes to working with you. So Julie Haas says she'll feel alive. Anybody else want to share what you would feel if you had a level? And there's probably, and we're going to go through the assessment here in a moment, but you probably already have competency in a lot of these skill areas. The key is to recognize where you have skill gaps and also where you need to spend your time in order to grow your business. So Julie Haas says she would feel alive by the rest of your silence. I'm going to assume that Julie is speaking for all of you at this point. Okay, cool. So those are the 12 critical skill areas, guys. And so let's go do the assessment. It's a really quick assessment. So go to bs4ca.com. And it's simply the event page for Business School for Change Agents. Kim says phenomenal. Let me see. Kim says phenomenal. I can't wait. Hold on one second. So in the meantime, guys, go to bs4ca.com. Kim says phenomenal. She would feel phenomenal. She can't wait to go from having strictly a hands-on healing practice to creating a one-on-one coaching program. Exactly. Technology allows you guys to work with anybody around the world. So instead of having just a local market where you needed to be in person, you now have a global audience. You now have a global client base. And that's a shift that I made because early on I was working with people in more of a therapeutic setting and in an office setting where I worked, I think, for a year and a half. And then I made the shift, to working with people in Skype, on Google Hangouts, working with people over the phone. And it has done tremendous amounts for my business. Julie Haas, okay. It would be fun and exciting and empowering and fucking such a relief. Absolutely. Lisa Dendwick, absolutely. All right, so let me know when you're at bs4ca.com. You're probably going to want to pause the video. Let's see if I'm there. And I'll show you where to do let me know when you're there, guys. bs4ca.com, bs4ca.com. And I'm going to show you where you can download. So if you pause the video, Keisha Clark is there. Awesome. So if you stay on this page for a while, guys, even after this call, because I've added a lot of value and a lot of content to the page. It's not just, I think we're evolving out of sales pages and moving into what I want to call content pages, where there's a ton of content on here, resources for you to add value to your world, and also the invitation for you to sign up for the program. So scroll all the way down and you're going to see a section that says the 12 critical skill areas and the skill gap awareness assessment. So let me know when you're there. Does it redirect to bs4ca.com? Stephen will redirect. Yeah, it does redirect to georgecarroll.com, but it will redirect to this address up here if you could see it on my screen. bs4ca.com. Let me know if you're there. Got it, Lisa. Awesome. Stephen is in. Cool. So just scroll all the way down, and what you're going to see is the 12 critical skill areas, which all of it we just covered, and the skill gap awareness assessment. So as you find it, bs4ca.com. The thing that I told you I was going to share with you were the 3 ways to what's the word? To gauge, to measure your business growth. Here are the 3 ways. Lead generation. So Facebook, you want to measure your business on your social media reach too, not just the last 2, which are the most common, which is customers and clients acquired and then revenue generated. Those are easy ones. But in order to grow those 2, you got to measure leads generated. Leads generated are your email list. It's your social media reach. It's your friends list on Facebook, and I recommend strategically finding friends on Facebook who are potential business partners, power partners for you, and not just random ass people. Get really strategic and clear on who you want to connect with in social media, because somebody, for example, like I post content all the time on Facebook, as you know, and there are people who reach out to me all the time who aren't necessarily going to be my clients, but they have clients that they think my content can help, and vice versa. I find people all the time, they're like, I really like what you're up to. Let me share it. And so, come at social media from that strategic standpoint. At the bottom of this area, you're going to see where it says free resource. Click here to take the skill gap awareness assessment. Take the skill gap awareness assessment. So click that. It's going to open up in a new window. And this is what you're going to see. So I'm going to go through this, and then let me know when you've got the download, guys. I know you're on the page. Let me know when you got the download, and this is my screen is basically what you're going to see. Let me know when you got the download. Okay, got it. Lisa says got it. Okay, I'm going to assume that you guys have it, and if not, you can just read my screen. And then go to bs4ca.com to download it and take the assessment yourself. Awesome. Okay, so let's just go through this real quick. A critical skill area is a skill that is vital to learn for business expansion. Business School for Change Agents has 12 critical skill areas that you will chart in this assessment. Critical skill gap is basically, guys, an area of weakness or improvement. In business, if a critical skill gap is developed, progress is made and expansion of the business occurs. If a skill gap is ignored, progress is stopped and contraction of the business may occur. Skill building. This is the process of practicing specific sets of tasks and implementing specific strategies that lead in the long run to development of a critical skill area to the consciously skilled level of learning. Remember, that's the third level. That's when you start to recognize that you're getting better at something. And do you know the feeling of that? Like when you start to do something new. I remember a few years ago I started playing piano. And I remember going to a teacher who was teaching me very slowly, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to shoot myself. And after 3 lessons, I quit, and I said, I'm just going to try this my own way. And I went to YouTube, and I typed in how to play this song by John Legend, how to play this song by Alicia Keys. And then there's a lot of people who posted videos, talk about content creation. There's a lot of people who created content that showed videos of how to play specific songs. So I would watch and visually take in the information, and then I would kinesthetically practice it over and over and over. I was just repetition to eventually I learned how to play the song. And so I went from, consciously unskilled to unconsciously skilled pretty quickly because I also know my learning style. So depending on how you learn, you can go from unconsciously skilled to consciously skilled pretty quickly. But the key is, guys, when you recognize that you suck at something, just keep trying it. Just keep trying new things. Just keep repetition. So these are the 4 levels of learning that we talked about. All right, let me see. Got it, George. Let me see. Hold on, I think I have a question. George, I have a 5:30 appointment. I will come back to this. Look forward to playing with it. Thank you again. You're welcome, Keisha. Thanks for coming and playing. Okay, and then the next page is repetition and feedback. So this allows us to learn skills rapidly, as we were talking about, but we've got to be willing to take imperfect action. We have to be willing to take imperfect action. The feedback we get from the repetition allows us to tweak our next attempts over and over and over again until we've developed that critical skill area into a consciously skilled level of learning and eventually unconsciously skilled. The skill gap awareness assessment is based on the 12 critical skill areas as a change agent needs to develop and integrate into their business in order to acquire clients and customers and develop consistent revenue. So you're going to chart these here in a moment. The purpose of this is to help you become aware of the gaps in the critical skill areas that are pulling your business down and what critical skill areas you need to develop in order to grow your client and customer base. As change agents, we have to remember we are also entrepreneurs, we're business people. And just like any other profession, we must acquire the necessary skills to develop a business that grows to 6 and 7 figures. When we ignore learning these critical skills, our ability to bring value to the market diminishes and our business dies. So here's how it works. I'm going to go over these 12 critical skills, and you're just simply going to chart them. So you can eventually print this if you'd like. There's a print button down here, but you can print this. What I'm going to ask you to do is get a blank sheet of paper out. And I'm going to ask you to, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 meaning you're lacking in this specific skill area, and 5 means you've mastered it. And you're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to chart yourself on these 12 critical skill areas. And here's an example. So for example, if your change skills, which is the first critical skill area you can see down here, is at a 4 out of 5, which means you're kicking ass on it, then you would chart the fourth dot, this red dot on line number 1. So here's the 12. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5, depending on your level of skill in that specific area. So we've covered all, and then you're gonna chart it. So you're gonna connect all the dots together, and at the end of this assessment, I'm gonna show you where you land, and I can predict your income based on it. So, going through all these skills, what you're gonna want to do, if you have it printed out, you can pause this audio if it's a recording right now if you want to print it out. You're gonna basically write down on a scale of 1 to 5. You're gonna write down where you are in all of these change skills. So I'm just going to give you a couple minutes and just go with your gut. You don't need to overanalyze it. Just go with your gut. Like just say, okay, my change skills, I would say they're good, but they could be better. There are 3. Target messaging skills. Oh shit, I don't even know what that is. That's probably a 1. Target your process of transformation. Well, I don't really have a process of transformation. I have like a package of, if you have a package that people can buy, like a 5 or a 10 session package, that's a start. That's a process of transformation. It's not detailed. So you might be a 2, but if you don't have any kind of package set up, you're going to learn how to develop a package that's hard to say no to in Business School for Change Agents. So how do you develop a package, a coaching package that has tons of value and it's hard for people to say no to? Social media engagement. Well, I could probably engage more, but I'm okay. I'm a 3. So just go with your gut, guys. Product program and creation. Shit, I've never created a program before. I'm a 1. Or if you're killer at it, hell, I'm a 5. I've been here. I'm a 5. I've been here. And I'm going to be looking for questions in the control panel. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. With lead generation, you want to look at how big is your social media reach? How big is your email list? How responsive are they? All of that. In-person networking skills. How often do you get out there and mix it up with other people? Right now, I'll tell you that's probably a 3 for me. I can definitely increase that. Content creation skills. I'm probably either a 4 or a 5. I love it. Chances are the more you love to do something, the better you're going to be at it. But you can learn to love it by getting good at it. Video creation skills, probably for me is a 4. If you don't create video, you're probably a 0 or a 1. And just be honest, guys. There's no right or wrong in this. It's just simply to give you awareness of where to focus your time, attention, and energy to build those skills. All right, so when you're done, guys, marking on a scale of 1 to 5 for all of these, you're going to total your score right there. So let me know. I'm curious. Let me know, what is your number? Add those numbers together. What is your number? There's no wrong way to do this. If you're watching this on the recording and if you need more time, just press pause and come back to it. But you're simply going to chart all these 12 critical skill areas, and then you're going to total your score. And then you're going to let us know. 24 says, I think that's Lisa. Let me see. Lisa. Okay, cool. So Lisa, then you would go Otto 41. Rock on, Otto. Good job, man. So then you would go down to the next page, and this is where there's a little assessment for you. So Lisa, if you're a 24, you're in this area here, and I'm curious to see if this is accurate for you guys. The revenue prediction basically, I'm saying that based on your score over the previous 12 months, I can predict your income. So Lisa, in your business, and it might not be 100% accurate, but I'd love to see if it is. So Lisa, you're 24, you would be in this area. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but is your revenue anywhere from, in the last 12 months, anywhere from 15 to 45K? Awesome. I love the honesty, Kim. Kim says 6. Eek. I'm glad I signed up. Let's see. Lisa says I'd say the income is higher than I've been put, but I am growing a lot lately. Awesome. Yeah, and again, guys, don't use this to make you wrong. Use it to say, oh crap, okay, there's a few areas that if I focus my attention on and developing and building a skill, I can expand my business. I can expand my leads. If I keep at the same growth, it's about right over a year better. Okay, cool. So guys, awesome. Awesome. And in the questions area, is this helpful? Is this assessment helpful for you? Just yes or no. Yes, 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 says Lisa. Awesome. Very, very helpful. Otto says, thank you. Rock on, guys. Cool. Very, very helpful. Yes, Kim says. Julie says yes. Awesome. So when we talk about content creation, guys, this assessment doesn't exist on the planet. This is something that I developed just as a result of being immersed in studying the change industry, studying what helps people grow their business, what doesn't, really studying what are the critical skills that we need to develop as change agents, as entrepreneurs to grow our business. And as a result of just being in the industry for so long, it's helped me develop something that's super unique. So I'm glad this was helpful for you. Now use it to your advantage. Now, if you know, for example, that I don't know, let's come up here and say that your virtual presentation skills need some work. Boom, go to work on creating those. If you come up here and you say, well, my target messaging skills suck, then go to work on finding your target audience and then developing messaging skills. If your process of transformation you're not confident in and it's a 2, go to work on developing that process of transformation so you can get excited about it. So now I mean, if you're a 1 or a 2 or even a 3 in an area, you know that you need some work. You got some work to do. It doesn't mean you're wrong. I don't have a 60 score. My score is in the 50s, but I always have work to do. We'll never be perfect. I don't know if I'll ever be at a 60 because one of my favorite quotes lately comes from my current mentor. His name is James Malinchak. By the way, if you decide that you're going to sign up for Business School for Change Agents, you get a free ticket to his 4-day boot camp called Big Money Speaker. It's the best speaking training I've ever taken. That's why I hired him. He's amazing, but you get a free ticket to that. It's a $3,000 event, but you get it for free if you sign up. And I'll show you here in a moment how. Let's see here. Cancel. Let me get out of here. Okay. So cool. So that's helpful. Now you just need to know what area you need to focus on in order to grow your business. All right. So keep that assessment, and hopefully it helps. And so now I want to show you guys, if you go back to the Business School for Change Agents page, the event page, I'm going to show you what you're going to learn during these 6 months in the Business School for Change Agents. So I think a lot of you are right there on the cusp where I know that this training, this 6-month mastermind training can help you. But essentially, this is the number one strategic model for growing your one-on-one business. And I know I've talked about it, and this is what it looks like. So when you focus on building the skill of live presenting and virtual presenting, and then you build the skill of developing those presentations to inform, inspire, and influence, and then you move your audiences, whether live or virtually, to sign up for a complimentary or a free exploratory session with you. And we're going to teach you how to run those and how to facilitate those effectively. Can't you see how by being in front of all of those audiences and flooding your exploratory sessions and then moving them into your process of transformation, which we're going to develop in the Business School for Change Agents, how you can book your one-on-one business solid? Let me see. Lisa says, this is awesome. Not only do I have a list of skills, but to know where I can grow. It's exciting to know that using this tool We're able to track how much we've grown in each area of our income will follow. Thank you, George. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for that feedback. So this is the number one strategic model. And how Business School for Change Agents will work is that it's an overall school that will launch semesters with specific outcomes and curriculum. So this 6 months is designed with these 6 modules. The first core development module, number one, and by the way, guys, here in a moment, I'm going to get you that link to the participant action template, so you could download that too. So stay tuned for that. And I'm just going to share with you these 6 modules. So the first core development module that starts, as you can see over here on August 7th, is all about developing your target audience and your core messaging. All right, so you can see all the details here. You're gonna get clear on who your target audience is, so you can develop your core messaging, and then we're gonna uncover what their desperations and aspirations are, so you can develop the content, programs, and products that solves their problems. And then in there, if you weren't on my first call, down at the bottom, you can see the free resources, the Dream Niche Profiler Checklist. That's the checklist that's totally free. It's just my gift to you, and you can fill it out, and you start to get clear on who your target audience could be. It's a really kick-ass checklist. So use that to your advantage. And then the second module, so each module will last a month. The thing that I've recognized about a lot of these online programs is that there's not enough implementation and integration time. There's a 6-module program for, this is just an example, a 6-module program spread out over the course of either 6 weeks or 12 weeks does not have enough integration time. There's too much information, and the challenge with that is that when there's too much information for us to implement or integrate, we go into overwhelm. When we go into overwhelm, we don't implement anything, and we go right back to doing what's comfortable because we can do it unconsciously. So the key with Business School for Change Agents is creating a space and a long enough time frame to integrate the information. So you're going to have a whole month, and inside of that month, you're going to have 3 calls. The first is the core development module. That's the training module. And then you're going to have a mastermind intensive. These are 3-hour masterminds that you and 7 other change agents will have each and every month on the topic, and explore and mastermind all the different ways that you can come up with effective content, effective information that works for you and your business. So you're going to be masterminding with each other. And then the week after that, you're going to have an integration module where there are specific actions that you can take. Another big challenge that I saw after just studying program after program after program is that most of these online programs, they don't chunk down the action steps into actionable sized chunks. So most people don't do it. One of the biggest reasons why we don't take action on things that we know we should take action on is because they're either chunked too big or they're chunked in way too many details. The integration modules are designed to give you specific actionable size steps to move forward in that specific module. So you'll get, my philosophy in business, guys, is to over deliver. And if you've been in any of my programs, whether it's become a published author in 126 days, I am always looking for ways to add as much value as I possibly can to those programs, and so I can develop a sense of customer and client loyalty. And so if the amount of value that you're going to get inside of Business School for Change Agents, I haven't seen it anywhere else. Core development module number 2 is creating value-based content and your free offer. So earlier I talked about how we're going to go through the process of creating your free value, your free offer. So when somebody goes to your website or you create an opt-in page to build your list, this is going to help you create more leads and develop your lead generation. And you're also going to learn how to develop content, how to create content, how to package and organize content in a lot of different ways so that you can reach your target audience. Up here, for core development module number 2, how do we reach them by organizing content in a valuable way and then move them to action to sign up for our list and get our free offer. So you're going to learn how to create content. You're going to learn precision research strategies for your target audience. You're going to develop your free offer, as I just mentioned. The police are coming for me. They're saying, that's too valuable. You can't offer it at this price, George. This is too valuable. You're under arrest. And then in this module, you're also going to learn how to create your unique automated process. So if somebody signs up for your email list, do you want 1 follow-up email, 2 follow-up? How do we organize that in a way that adds value and then keeps them keeps you top of mind in their world. Core module number 3, or core development module number 3, and month number 3, we're going to look at the bridge process and your process of transformation. The two primary things we're going to focus on in this module is developing your process of transformation that we talked about earlier, your unique process of transformation, how you take people from point A to point B, and then also the bridge process, which is the conversion process. So we're going to teach you how to have and how to facilitate those exploratory sessions in a way that increases your conversion rates. So you can see all the objectives for this module here, all the dates and times for the masterminds, for the training, and all of it here. You're going to get, in all of this, guys, you're going to get everything that I use in my business, in my speaking and my coaching business, even my contracts and agreements that I use with one-on-one clients. You're going to get, so for example, you're going to get the checklist that I'm going to show you here in a moment. You're going to get all of my checklists and all of my templates, everything that I use for my business, so you can just simply model it, so you're not creating it from the start, from the scratch. Also, how to use, this is a key thing. If you're not doing this, guys, in your one-on-one sessions, you want to start doing it. Is if you don't work with people one-on-one, use bridge lines, like what we're doing now, so you can, or video conferencing like Google Hangouts, so you can record your sessions. Imagine how much more value you can offer when you say, by the way, we record these sessions, I send them to you afterward so that you can listen to them again for reinforcement. It adds so much. That's a one little thing that you can do right now, guys, to add a ton of value to your one-on-one business. And then core module number 4, this is where we step into developing your signature presentation. The cool thing with developing your signature presentation is that you can deliver it live or virtual. There's only a couple of small tweaks that we'll make, but essentially, guys, the presentation is the same, and then you learn how to create that in a way that inspires, informs, and influences people. So imagine, what would it be like? Just really tap into this. What would it be like if you're giving, your business model is set up so you're giving live presentations and virtual presentations consistently to audiences all over the world and even locally in your area? Being in front of people, being the magic you that you are, sharing valuable content that really relates to them and that's relevant to them, that adds value to their world and solves specific issues or gives them insights, like I'm doing with you right now, just solving specific challenges or issues, giving you some new awarenesses to help you grow in this area of your business. And then all of a sudden, you invite them. You pass out a sheet that says, check this box if you want to have an exploratory session with me. You follow up with them the next day. And now at this point, you know how to facilitate those exploratory sessions to move them into your process of transformation. Imagine your business model set up this way. This is what we're aiming toward. That's why it's called Booked Solid. Like, how do we use this strategic model to get your sweet booty booked solid? And then that's core module number 4. The cool thing, guys, is even when this 6 months is over, you're going to have developed all of these skills that go into each of these modules. And when you develop a skill, it doesn't go away unless you stop using it. But even if you stop using it, you can get it back. And that's something called muscle memory. It's kind of like, growing up playing sports all the time. And then if I stop going to the gym for a couple of months and my body starts to suffer as a result of it, I can get back in the gym for just a few weeks. I have that muscle memory. Same with a skill. When you go through these 6 months and you learn these skills, and then let's say, you focus on another area of your business, like video marketing, for example, you choose to build those skills for a couple of months. Those skills will atrophy just a little bit, but the minute you come back to them, it's in your neurology. Those patterns are built into your neurology. They're built into your muscle, and they're easy to pick right back up. Kind of like, how they say it's just like riding a bike. You remember quickly. So in the core module number 4, you're also going to learn your signature presentation, like we mentioned that. And here's the key thing, guys. You're going to be able to scale that from anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. And it's so simple. Once you get the process, and once I show you the drag and drop templates of inserting your content into the modules that we have set up for you, you're going to see how you can scale that 30-minute talk all the way up to 2 hours and beyond. Your limitation really is only in your creativity. And so imagine being able to say, I can do a 30-minute talk. Let's say you're talking to a group organizer. This is either a 30-minute talk or a 2-hour talk, depending on what your needs are. You become more valuable when you're able to do that. Also, you're going to learn how to weave success stories into your presentations. So by the end of it, your audience is leaning in to doing the exploratory session with you. You're also going to learn my Master Your Purpose Story 5-step process. And this is a training that I do for a lot of organizations. And, there is a company that paid me for a full day of this training, paid me $7,500 to come in and teach these to their group of lawyers and attorneys. So it's really kick-ass. And the thing is, guys, you notice at the beginning of all of my presentations, what's one of the first things that I do? I share my story. And so you're going to learn my 5-step process that you're going to be able to utilize your story in all of your live presentations, and you're going to be able to scale it anywhere from 4 minutes all the way up to 10 minutes. So you're going to learn that 5-step process, and you'll always use that, guys, because we have to remember in the day and age that we live in, people are they're looking for, one, credibility, and they're looking for vulnerability. If you can combine those two in telling your story, people's barriers will drop and they'll be more apt to receiving you and signing up for an exploratory session and working with you. And then you're going to develop your signature presentation for online delivery as well. And then we move into month 5, and this is where we develop your speaking, your marketing materials. So how do we develop your digital signature presentation brochure so it stands out and you can send it to organizers? How do we create a signature presentation demo video? I'm going to show you how to do that. If you go to my website right now, georgeiracarroll.com, you'll be able, the first thing that I have on there, and the target of my business these days is to grow my speaking business. So you can see it's a highlight video. It's a demo video of times I've spoken, times I've been on the news, and it's basically there to invite people who book speakers to book me. You're going to learn how to create your own demo video. You're going to create your own signature presentation description and audience outcomes. And then also, here's something really cool that I'm adding to this module is you're going to create your signature presentation audio track for more bookings. So if let's say a group organizer or a networking organizer, they want to hire you, but they want to hear some of your content, like you're going to be able to send them a link that has the audio presentation of your signature presentation. So they can, if you haven't done it yet in person, you have the audio of it, and it's a huge marketing piece that organizers look for to book speakers. And then we move into core development module number 6, and that's delivering your signature presentation. So everything that we've done up to this module has got us ready for this, and that's delivering your signature presentation and then getting booked solid. So in this module, you're going to get my flexible booking script, because when you call people, when you talk to people either online or live, you want to know how to have that interaction with them, how to communicate with them in a way that gets you booked. You're also going to get and if you scroll down below, guys, the free resource, that's the participant action checklist. This is the thing that I was talking about. So let me see if you can see. I'm going to show you me. Hey again. So if you can see, this is basically what you're going to get. I think you can see that. But these 2 checkboxes, they're just 2 checkboxes on the actual template that you're going to get. And you're not going to use these exactly the way they are. You're going to use them in a way that your content fits on there. So as you can see, it's just a simple action sheet, guys. Like module number 1, module number 2, module number 3, module number 4. So this is all I created for this organization. And on the last page, at the end of the day, after I've given all kinds of value to them, I basically say, okay, if you want to stay connected, check this box. If you want a free exploratory session, check this box. So I had a dozen people check the box for an exploratory session. I'll make those calls over the next probably week or 2, connect with people, set up those exploratory sessions. And let's say out of those 12, I convert, for easy numbers, I don't know, 3 of them, which is 20% or 25%. So 3 of those end up signing for maybe a $1,000 or a $2,000 coaching program. You can start to see the math. And that's the key to what this program will help you do. But it's not just live presentations. These are also virtual presentations. So that's really the gist of it, guys. And then as you scroll below, I'm going to share with you all the things that come with this program. And there's one thing that I'm super pumped to share with you. And it's only for people who get registered. So you can see here the 4 steps of this process. Develop your one-on-one business model. Step 2 is create your signature presentation and marketing materials. Step 3 is to deliver your signature presentation live and online. And step 4 is to fill your one-on-one business with those presentations. So I'm only going to be working with, over the next 6 months, 24 change agents, 24 agents of change who are ready to get booked solid. Right now, there are already 9 people signed up for it. And so if you feel like this can add value to your world and this is what you're looking for at this point in time in your business, you want to get signed up below. And so 24 people that are going to be grouped into 3 groups. And those 3 groups of 8 people, those are going to be your mastermind partnerships. All right. So there's going to be plenty of accountability in this group so that you're not on the island alone. And we're holding your hand step by step and making sure that you're getting the attention that you need in order to move your business forward and get all these modules in place, get all the processes and systems in place. And so another reason why for the 24 is I want to be able to reach out to you individually. And I do this with my book writing mastermind group. So I'll pop a call on them real quick, or I'll connect with them through social media and just really check in and say, hey, how can I support you? So it creates an intimacy that I think is a little bit different from a lot of the programs out there that just flood their online programs with, maybe, I don't know, hundreds of people, and they don't have that one-on-one intimacy. And I love creating that with all of my programs. So you'll have that. And then this program officially doesn't open until tomorrow. And so I've created, if you scroll down, there's a pre-registration tuition that ends tonight at midnight. And instead of $2,900, which is the late bird tuition, and even instead of $2,400, which is the regular early bird tuition, that's what I've priced this thing at. And even the super early bird price is going to be $1,900, but the pre-registration tuition is only $1,400. So you can save $500 right now between today and tomorrow, and just get signed up for it. And if you don't want to do $1,400 up front, where you'll save $200, but you can also do 4 monthly payments of $400. And there's a few people that have chosen that option too. So I made it easy for you to say yes to it, because I hope so, at least. And there's more value that I want to share with you in terms of what you're going to get with these programs, with this, or with these modules. So if you just know that there are only 15 spots left, there are, just for these 3-part video series, there are, I think, 120 people who signed up just for the 3-part video series. So I'm going to be sending an email right after this video with the replay and with the invitation to get in for the pre-registration tuition. So if you know that this is kind of where your business is right now, and you know that this can support you, you can go ahead and just reserve your spot right there. And then I have some videos of other clients. You might recognize some of them online that worked with me online or in a mastermind group, a couple years back. So people who've worked with me and what they've said. And then here's a mega bonus that I'm offering, and it's my current mentor, James Melanchek's his event called Big Money Speaker Bootcamp. And this is a 4-day boot camp held in Los Angeles. And it's a $3,000 training, but you get in for free. And I really had to work on this. I said, James, I'm creating this mastermind with people to help them build their live and virtual presentation businesses, to help them book their one-on-one business solid. I said, would you be willing to also give them free tickets to your boot camp in LA in December if they sign up for it? And he was pretty hesitant, but I told him, I was like, listen, man, I just invested $13,000 with you, and can you help me out here? He's like, all right. So anyway, it's a 4-day boot camp. There's a link right there if you want to learn more about the boot camp and what you get with it. But it's probably the best, most comprehensive speaking training that I've ever seen. He gives you so much information. You get this huge booklet, this huge pamphlet. So that's a mega bonus if you go ahead and get signed up. And then if you're one of the top 24, and then there's all the things that you're going to get with it. You're going to get 6 core development modules, which is the training modules. You're going to get 6 mastermind intensives, which are the 3-hour masterminds that you're going to have with your partnerships and your groups of 8. You're going to get 6 integration modules. You're going to get my guidebook for the entire semester that you get to use, and it has all the fill in the blanks, the templates, the agreements, all the contracts, all the stuff that I use in my business so that you can model it for yours. You get a Facebook group for free so that we can mastermind in there. You also get your business gets booked solid, which is absolutely priceless. and a free pass to the Big Money Speaker Bootcamp, which is a $3,000 value. And here's the thing. So overall, it's right around $7,500 value that you get in for $1,900. But if you register by the end of today, you get in for $1,400. So Kim Morrison, I really appreciate your testimonial, Kim. Kim says, thank you, George. This is such a gift that you're doing these 3 calls for free. Why would somebody stop there? Just a choice, right? I'm choosing the entire 6 months. Woohoo! Time to step up and be the change I be, whoever the hell that is. This was so light to choose this. So I think that, and I appreciate that so much, Kim, and I think that one of the biggest reasons why is my aim and my target is to add so much value up front that maybe you get what you need to go out and grow your business. But also maybe you think, holy shit, what the hell's behind the doors of this thing if I choose it? So another thing that I added, and I'm always looking at, and I always will be looking at, how can I add so much value that it's impossible for people to say no? So what is the Change Summit? The Change Summit is something that came to me yesterday that I had sort of an intuitive hit on to add to this program. So it's a 24-day, notice 24 days, it's a 24-day Google Hangout Summit for all the registrants only, where you get interviewed by me. Yep, I'm George. And you get to share your signature presentation for the world to see on Google Hangouts. So here's what we're going to do. We're all going to work together. We're going to build each other's list, expand your social media presence together. And so we're all going to market it. We're all going to promote it. We're all going to use all the modules that we're learning inside of Business School for Change Agents 2015 fall semester toward this. We talk about building. The fastest way to build skills is to actually practice it. So we're going to put it to work, all of us together. So you're going to deliver your signature presentation through a Google Hangout. You're going to be able to convert those audience members into your paying clients. So the audience, you're going to set up your own opt-in page, right? We're going to teach you how to do all this, but you're going to set up your own opt-in page for the summit. So your list will grow as a result of it. And as your list grows and you add more value, the more they're going to want to work with you. You're going to use the interview in your own marketing way. However you want to use the interview, you can do it, but it's your signature presentation. And so imagine all that could come from that. So I'm super pumped about that, and that's something I added pretty recently. And again, guys, all the information's right here. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a 365-day satisfaction guarantee. So you can participate for the entire fall semester of the mastermind, also for an entire year. Implement the work over the course of an entire year. And if you're not totally satisfied with the value that you received from it, the content you received from it, and the results that you received from it, you can get a full refund. The only thing that I'm going to ask is that you're present and you're engaged in all of the modules and all of the calls. So you're going to need to, if you want a refund, I'm going to ask you to turn in all of your completed homework. I'm going to ask you to turn in all the assignments that you're going to get, all the action items, and all the curriculum. So it's really, guys, it's such a win-win. I mean, once you develop your skills and abilities to book your change agent business solid through this strategic model, like, you just simply won't go back. Your muscle will be so strong with it. And man, I haven't seen my business grow faster than when I'm doing programs like this, like virtual presentations and in-person presentations. My business over the last couple of years has absolutely skyrocketed as a result of it. And basically, I've just packaged it in a way where you can, take a shortcut. And instead of, going the next 5 years trying to implement all this, let's do it in the next 6 months. And within each module, you're going to have plenty of time to integrate, get all the things set up, to mastermind, and really be the innovator in your industry. So all the information's there, guys. You can see the pre-registration tuition ends in about 8 hours, ends at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So I just get in now if you know that this is for you. There's only 15 spots left. It will sell out. And if you know that this is for you, then just jump in. But right now, I just want to take a moment and see, did you gain some value from this? What's one insight? Go down to the questions area. What's one insight? Now, I just also want to know, I know, Kim, you're in. Is there anybody else who is just ready to jump in? And then also share, what's one insight that you got from it? One aha, one insight. What you got? me see. All right, talk to me, guys. What's one aha or one insight? Or if you're, go ahead and sign up for the program. You can say, I'm signing up. Julie Haas says, where I'm not willing to step up. Awesome, Julie. Do you want to share where that is, where you're not willing to step up? What else, guys? What other ahas or insights? Lisa says, I love your list. I'm not a list person, and that list is like a roadway to my future. That's right, Lisa. Awesome. All right, Julie Haas says, being seen, developing long-term relationship. Awesome awareness, Julie. Rock on. And then also, guys, just be asking, like, if I chose this 6-month program, like, where will my business be in a year? Where will my business be? Where will my skill levels be in a couple of years? Can this contribute? I mean, just kind of take in the amount of value that you're getting from the program and the investment that you're making, and just like do kind of a weighing thing, am I receiving more value in this program than I am in paying in payment? Especially if you take advantage of the of the early bird tuition, of the pre-registration tuition. Otto says, aha, credibility and vulnerability. Absolutely. That's huge. And in that module number 6, everybody, you're going to learn how to organize your story in a way that does create the credibility and the vulnerability. And it's a huge game changer. Rock on, Otto. Anybody else? Ahas, insights, skill gap evaluation, along with last week's questionnaire, helps me start crafting my business. Thanks, George. Awesome, Stephen. Rock on, brother. Yeah, you are welcome. Anybody else want to share ahas, insights before we begin to wrap up? And again, if you know that it's like this is it for you, this is a good program for you, like take a look at where you are in your business. Take a look at what's required in your business, and just sense, is it, if I choose this, will it expand my future? Will it expand the future of my business? Will I learn the skills required to really take my business to another level? Cool, guys. Well, that is the end of our content. Unless I missed something, let me go back and see. Did I miss anything? No, looks like I got everything. We do have one more call, and that will be on, I believe that's July 24th. And that's the 4 businesses of a change agent, the 4 business of the modern day change agent. So keep an eye out for that email. I promise you, I won't bombard you with a ton of emails like spamming you, telling you to sign up and all that stuff. You're going to get one reply from me after this call with the recording and just a quick invitation to sign up if you haven't already signed up. And then you won't hear from me until, at least on a mass email level, I won't send a mass email out until the 23rd, and right before the third call. And I'll make sure and get that to you before then. And then you'll receive another one 90 minutes before, and then 15 minutes before the actual call. So that way I'm not flooding your inbox, because I know how annoying that is. And I think that's another thing that's changing, is the amount of value that or the amount of emails that people send when you sign up for their list. Like, a lot of these emails are now automated with 15 emails. So you sign up for one person program, getting 15 emails over the next 3 days. And I think that's changing. I think that's really changing. And it's like, how do we create more of a personal connection, with our work, versus spamming the crap out of people and asking them to sign up that way? So I think that's changing. And Kim says, thank you, George. Bye for now. It's beer time. Absolutely. I'm going to have a glass of wine here in a moment. But keep an eye out for that, guys. Hopefully that you continue to receive value from the work and the content that I create. And hopefully it gives you some strategies and some insight on how you can sort of extract your value from you and share it with your audiences, and and change people's lives, because I know each and every one of you has unique messaging within you. You have unique content within you. How do we extract it so that you can add value to the people that look to you for your brilliance? So thanks again, guys, for an awesome call. We'll see you really soon. And for those of you who have signed up, I look forward to working with you over the next 6 months and beyond. And if you need a little bit of time to think about it, that's cool too. And we will talk to you really soon. Bye, everybody. Take good care. Bye. Bye-bye.